Hello everyone, welcome to Musical Solutions. This is a set of masterclasses that I have every Friday on my YouTube channel at Musical Moments with Marta. Welcome to my channel. And I would like to continue with second movement of the Vivaldi's Winter. And this is actually part 3 of the Vivaldi Winter, because I had 2 parts in the first movement. So if you're watching this, please listen to the first 2 parts as well. Of course, whatever is you're working on is fine. So this is the second movement, Largo, and we're just going to go through it. And let me read the poem first. Before the fire to pass peacefully, contented days while the rain outside pours down. So if you're not familiar with the rest of the instruments that are playing here, it is all strings, and we have pizzicato as the accompaniment for this melody. So pizzicato, plucking the string, gives us that sense of a little bit of the rain that's pouring down. So Vivaldi is being very descriptive here. So on top of that, we have a beautiful melody, which is in E flat major. And E flat major, of course, can be a little bit challenging, just because flats are a little bit less common on the violin than sharps in general. And so I'm just going to go through the movement, and let me know if you have any questions. So that first phrase, I'm actually using the edition that is the Bernstein edition from 2000, year 2000, and this the Bernstein edition is one of the most original bowings and editions we can have. So of course we can change them slightly, and sometimes we do. There are different editors, different people that like to change based on their knowledge. So for example, excuse me, at the opening, this is all separate, but sometimes I feel like just slurring them. So you could slur them. I've seen recordings done them. So for those of you who are interested in the fingerings, this is in third position. If you place separately, then I go down to first position, second finger, and the trill, of course, is from above in the Baroque era. Going on, I'm back to first position, and I shift up to third position, stay. So this is, as you can see, kind of a sequence. Sequence is when we have the same, either the same rhythm or same intervals, repeated on different degrees or different pitches. So for example, in this case, we have, starting on F, a scale going up, then we go down a step, so E flat, then we have D. So we're still in third position. Then here I would go down to second position. Sometimes I vary the fingerings here, but what I have marked here is I did 1, 2, 2, 3. So you can be creative here, but I would go down on that last sequence. I would go down to a C, first finger, second position, but then go back up to third position on the E flat, and then 3. And then we're back to third position. Then here I go down to first position. And then I go to third position. Wow. So I kind of travel around a little bit. You could be a little bit more consistent with your fingerings, but I've always played it kind of in a simple way. jumping around a little bit between first and third position, and second, quite a bit of second position. So then going on, this is measure 7. It's because that E flat key, that's unusual, so that's part of the reason why the fingerings have to be a little bit odd. There's a little bit of more jumping around, not quite as smooth as it would be, let's say, in D major or G major, because we don't have open strings. We don't have those open strings. We have E flat, we have A flat, E flat, so those open strings are gone. We do have D, we could have a D string or the G string, but we don't have too many of those. So going on in measure 7, then on the up bow, in first position, and you always stop the trill, so 1, 2, 3 on the third 8th note, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Okay, so this is the first half. Then we go to B flat. It has just modulated to B flat major, which is in E flat, that's the dominant, which is very common. So now I'm going to play in third position, starting on that B flat measure 9. So third position, but then I go down to first. Third. So from above again. Then first position, above. So musically speaking, we are now a little bit lower. We're actually, instead of going 5 notes up, which is dominant, we're actually going 4 notes down. So he has now moved the way it sounds, it's 4 notes lower than the beginning. So the dynamic could be a little bit less. That's kind of how I feel about it. And then measure 10 is a little bit higher dynamic. Let's see, that's one phrase. And then when we go to measure 11, excuse me, then you can go up a little bit, because now we're climbing up again. And we're also harmonically going to a different chord. So this is B flat major, but with the 7th on A flat. So that, if you know a little bit of harmony, when you have a 7th added to a chord, that is going to lead, we call it dominant 7th, which is usually the 5th degree of a scale. So if B, D, F, A flat is the chord, B flat is the root, then that's the 5th degree of the scale that it's actually going to. So we're going to go down, which is actually going down 5 notes as an E flat. So we're coming back to E flat. So the movement is in E flat. Then we go to B flat, which is the dominant. And then in measure 11, it goes to dominant 7th. So we have that 7th. But then it kind of veers off to a different key. Goes to C minor. Another sequence. So we have, I go to third position here. I do a crescendo here, which I didn't mention that earlier, but we can do a similar dynamic in measure 3, 4, 3 and 4 when you have that sequence that I described earlier. You can make a crescendo there also. You can add some dynamics. Just feel free to be a little romantic about the dynamics. It's important to keep the music interesting and go with the direction of the notes. That's very helpful to just make a crescendo when it goes up, generally, as a general rule. Going up, crescendo, going down, diminuendo. At least that. Okay, so then in measure 13, this is the last group of the sequence, starting on E flat. Kind of goes back down. Now this part I play forte. This is the first time, and then there's a repeat of that. Go down to first position. And then echo. I kind of add a little ornament there. And then back to forte. Third position. Then you can do a little trill if you want, or any other. You can be creative with some ornaments. Listen to some recordings maybe of people who are good at this Baroque ornamentation. I am not a specialist at all, but I do enjoy adding small things here and there. So here I added a trill. And you hold that for almost 3 bars. Actually, on the last one, I removed on the last note, I don't play the trill. I just play the last note without the trill. It adds a little bit of that calmness at the end. So I hope this was interesting for you, somewhat some different things. Mainly make sure that you have a beautiful sound and you're aware of the E flat major and B flat major chords so that your intonation is good. There's a little bit of going back and forth between positions. So see what you think about my version of it. And this is the second movement of Vivaldi Winter. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like this kind of content. And I hope you'll come back to the next video. See you on the next video, which will be the third movement, Allegro, which is actually going to be part 4 of the Vivaldi Winter. Thank you so much.